Welcome to Ecclesia Principles, a biblical strategy for believers to engage in God's design for government with Ray Eppard.
Well, hey guys, welcome. We're just doing an interview with Pastor Ray Eppard here on his Ecclesia Principles. I'm Trent Walker, and we're going to talk about, obviously the last time we did this was pre-election day, so I want to capture some of that from you. But then I also want to capture some of the things you talked about last week in your podcast. So first off, what do you think of the election? What do you think of the results?
Well, it depends on what level you're asking. I think one of the biggest things that we can take from it, excuse me, is when you look at the numbers. The Democratic Party, the engagement was not there like it had been. The enthusiasm was not there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in addition to that, you had people that had voted Democrat that voted Republican this time. And the phrase that you heard many say is that the Democrats, and not, I don't really like, let me not use the term Democrats, because there are people who are Democrats who are good people.
I agree.
I mean, love God. But the leadership of the party is one thing, and a lot of the people are something else. A lot of people think that their party is still the same that it was 50 years ago.
Yes.
When there was not a lot of difference between the two parties. The leadership is entirely different now, and there's a lot of people that felt that the leadership has went too far.
Yeah.
When you're putting men in women's sports, when you're looking, I don't believe in a man becoming a woman or a woman becoming a man, but the bottom line is if you want that surgery, you pay for it. Don't make me pay for it. Don't use my taxes for that. And especially, don't be putting little kids into having to deal with people of the opposite sex in the bathrooms. And that there was just a point where the leadership of the left it was a recognition they just went too far for people.
Well, I want to read some things, too, for you. Obviously, this has been said as a political blowout.
Yeah.
And I think there's a few things that I'd love for you to speak into. Obviously, you nailed it right on the head. I think the average American is moderate. I don't think that, I consider myself one of those that's like, I voted Republican, I think my whole life. Mm-hmm. I still don't consider myself Republican because I see very alt-right Republicans that I'm like, I don't agree with that at all. Yeah. However, I genuinely believe there are good people who have aligned with the Democratic Party, maybe because of different types of fiscal things or just different schools of thoughts when it comes to work, education, things like that, what we would consider political maybe 20 years, like when I was a kid, when you said that they seemed to be very close back then. Yeah. So I think that the American people have spoken that they're like, you've gone too far. This leadership has gone too far. So the polls had so underestimated Trump for the third time. Mm-hmm. Ann Seltzer predicted 3-point lead for Harris in Iowa right before. Yes. Nate Silver pulled out his poll in the middle of the count. These are like pollsters that are like always spot on, and they were so far off. She was off by 16 points. Real Clear Politics had Trump at a 1-point edge, and then he ended up winning by 5 in Nevada. In Michigan and Pennsylvania, he won by a clear advantage in which is like hundreds of thousands of people per point. And I don't follow I just read these statistics off, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a blowout. This is the American people saying to the Democratic leadership, you're way off base.
You've been listening to Ecclesia Principles with Ray Eppard. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook on our Ray Eppard pages. This program was brought to you by Victory Worship Center and World Outreach. Services Sunday 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock, 200 Hammond Lane, Stanton, Virginia.